What if you discovered that the people you admire, the high-profile figures you look up to, were potentially implicated in one of the most infamous sex trafficking cases in recent history? Would it shake your faith in them? Now, this isn't just a hypothetical question. Recently, a New York federal judge has ordered the unsealing of court documents that identify various individuals associated with Jeffrey Epstein, a name you might have heard associated with one of the darkest chapters in recent history. Epstein, a financier and convicted sex offender, was at the center of a vast, intricate web of sexual exploitation and abuse. His partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, is currently serving a prison sentence for her role in the sex trafficking operation. This newly released list of names comes from a settled lawsuit involving Maxwell. It's expected to contain over 150 individuals, some of whom may be high-profile figures you're familiar with. But it's important to remember this list doesn't necessarily imply guilt. It's a piece of a larger, complex puzzle that investigators are still trying to piece together. The implications of this list are profound. It has the potential to shake the foundations of our trust in some of the world's most influential figures. It's a stark reminder of the pervasive reach of Epstein's network and the potential complicity of those who turned a blind eye to his heinous actions. While the release of this list shines a light on some parts of Epstein's dark world, it also raises many questions. Who among these names were victims, and who were complicit in Epstein's crimes? How far did Epstein's influence reach? And what does this mean for our society's understanding of power, privilege, and accountability? In 2019, Epstein died by suicide, leaving behind a web of secrets and unanswered questions. But now, some of these questions might finally be answered. Before we delve into the depths of the Epstein list, we must first understand the man at the center of it all, Jeffrey Epstein. Born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York, Epstein was a man of humble beginnings who rose to the heights of wealth and power, becoming a financier and rubbing shoulders with some of the world's most influential figures. Epstein started his career as a teacher, but his ambition quickly led him to the world of finance. By the mid-80s, he had founded his own firm, J. Epstein and Company, amassing a fortune and a network of high-profile associates. Epstein was known for his lavish lifestyle, with a private island in the Caribbean, a sprawling ranch in New Mexico, and one of the largest townhouses in Manhattan. But beneath this veneer of opulence and influence, there was a much darker reality. In 2008, Epstein was convicted for soliciting an underage girl for prostitution, a crime that marked the beginning of the end for his high-flying lifestyle. But the full extent of Epstein's criminality was yet to be revealed. In 2019, Epstein was arrested again, this time on federal sex trafficking charges. The indictment alleged that Epstein had created a vast network of underage victims for his own sexual exploitation, a network that extended across his homes in Palm Beach, New York, and the Caribbean. These charges shone a light on a horrifying truth. Epstein was not just a financier and socialite, but a sexual predator who had used his wealth and power to exploit and abuse countless young women. His arrest sent shockwaves through the corridors of power, implicating many of his high-profile associates in his crimes. Yet before Epstein could face trial for these charges, he was found dead in his jail cell in August 2019, a death officially ruled as suicide. Despite his death, the shadows cast by Epstein's crimes have not faded. His victims continue to seek justice, and his associates continue to face scrutiny for their links to his criminal activities. Epstein's life was a tale of power, manipulation, and criminality, ending in a prison cell. But his death did not mark the end of the Epstein saga. With Epstein's death, many believed that the secrets of his illicit activities died with him. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The fallout from Epstein's demise was widespread and far-reaching, with many chapters of this grim story yet to unfold. One of the most prominent figures embroiled in this saga was Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's alleged partner in crime. Following Epstein's death, Maxwell was arrested and subsequently tried for her supposed role in Epstein's sex trafficking ring. The trial was a beacon of hope for Epstein's victims, promising some semblance of justice in an otherwise bleak narrative. While Maxwell's trial was a significant development, it was by no means the end of the pursuit of justice. Epstein's victims, many of whom had endured years, if not decades of trauma, continued their fight for accountability. Fueled by an unwavering desire for truth, these brave individuals refused to let Epstein's death be the end of their quest for justice. On the other hand, the demand for accountability extended beyond Epstein and Maxwell. The recently released Epstein list, identifying over 150 individuals associated with Epstein, sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. From former presidents to renowned lawyers, the list laid bare the extent of Epstein's network, intensifying the demand for justice from Epstein's associates. However, the release of these documents was not without controversy. Amid the flurry of conspiracy theories and speculation, the focus of the discourse risked being diverted from the victims to the sensationalism of the implicated figures. This underscored the importance of approaching the documents with caution and a commitment to the facts rather than conjecture. Epstein's death may have closed one chapter of this sordid tale, but it opened up a whole new one, marked by a quest for truth and justice. The fallout from Epstein's death serves as a stark reminder that the fight against sexual exploitation is far from over, and that the pursuit of justice, no matter how daunting, must continue. The Epstein list, a Pandora's box of names, has the potential to shake the foundations of power across the globe. But what does it really mean? It's a question that has been swirling around since the release of the court documents, a question that is as complex as it is intriguing. This list, a labyrinth of over 150 names, is a testament to the reach of Epstein's influence. It includes potential co-conspirators and victims, people from different walks of life who were, in one way or another, caught in Epstein's web. The implications are far-reaching, potentially tainting the reputation of prominent figures across various fields. But the release of the list has also sparked a wave of speculation and conspiracy theories. In a world where information is often manipulated for partisan gains, the Epstein list has become a battleground. The names on the list have been subjected to intense scrutiny, with social media becoming a hotbed of conjecture and accusations. However, it's crucial to remember that the presence of a name on the list doesn't equate to guilt. It's a delicate situation, one that requires careful handling to avoid further victimizing those who may have already suffered. The controversy surrounding the Epstein list also highlights the dangers of partial transparency. While the release of the list was a step towards accountability, it has also fed into conspiracy theories, undermining the credibility of the justice system. It's a double-edged sword, a Pandora's box that once opened cannot be closed. However, despite the controversy, the Epstein list serves a critical purpose. It's a stark reminder of the systemic issues that allowed Epstein's actions to go unchecked for so long. It's an indictment of a culture that often turns a blind eye to the exploitation of the vulnerable, as long as it's done by those in power. The Epstein list is not just a list of names, it's a testament to the scope of Epstein's network and the potential complicity of those within it. It's a wake-up call, a call to action for society to ensure that such atrocities are never repeated. It's a call for justice, for accountability, and for a world where power cannot shield one from the consequences of their actions. With the release of the Epstein list, we are left with more questions than answers. But as we grapple with the revelations, what does the future hold? The Epstein list has opened a Pandora's box, unearthing a web of connections that span across the globe. This intricate network has implicated a myriad of individuals, some of whom are prominent figures in society. As we move forward, these revelations could have profound implications. The immediate consequence is the potential legal repercussions for those identified in the Epstein list. While the list doesn't level any criminal accusations, it does shine a spotlight on those who might have been complicit, and depending on the evidence, they could face charges. This could be the beginning of a long and arduous journey through the legal system for those named, but it's a necessary step towards accountability. For Epstein's victims, the release of the list is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it brings their plight into the limelight, validating their experiences and providing a sense of vindication. On the other hand, it also exposes them to public scrutiny and judgment, potentially re-traumatizing them in the process. Society must respond with compassion and respect for their privacy. Beyond the legal implications, the Epstein case serves as a wake-up call for society at large. It underscores the pernicious influence of unchecked power and privilege, and the potential for such power to be misused. This case should spur us to question and challenge the systems that enable such abuses to occur in the first place. Moreover, the Epstein case is a stark reminder of the importance of transparency and accountability. It highlights the need for stringent checks and balances to prevent such abuses, and the need for justice systems that are robust and fair, holding everyone, regardless of their status, accountable for their actions. The Epstein case serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of power and privilege, but it also reinforces our collective responsibility to seek justice and accountability. This saga is far from over, and there are undoubtedly more twists and turns to come. Stay tuned for more updates on the Epstein case. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more such content.